Viking Ocean has been on our radar for a while. We finally pulled the trigger. We're booked. But I have a rule. Before I set foot on any cruise line, I do my homework. And I mean real homework, not the brochure, the questions that actually matter. Is the value real? Do the inclusions actually include anything? Will I feel overdressed, underdressed, or just lost? I needed answers from someone who's actually done it multiple times. So I called in a favor. Alex runs a channel called Cruising After 50. And the name tells you exactly who he is. He's a self-described bon vivant gentleman, which basically means he knows where the good wine is on every ship, and he's not afraid to tell you what if it's not worth ordering.
He sailed Viking Ocean multiple times. He's also done Explora Journeys, Norwegian Haven, and a handful of other premium lines. So he's got real comparison points, not just one cruise and a strong opinion.
I sent him my 10 burning pre-cruise questions, and he answered every single one on camera. So some of his answers really surprised us. So let's get into it.
Doug, Leah, thank you so much for this invitation. When you reached out, I genuinely jumped at the chance because Viking holds a very special place in my travel life. And helping fellow cruisers get the most out of it, especially before they board, is exactly what I'm here for. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Alex from Cruising After 50. I've sailed Viking Ocean multiple times, and let's just say I've made every expensive mistake so you don't have to. That's my gift to the cruising community. Doug and Leah are asking me some really sharp questions, the kind of questions I wish someone had answered for me before my first Viking sailing. So let's get into it.
Let's start where every conversation should start, the money.
Viking's entry price is higher than many other lines. After sailing multiple times, where do you see the actual return on investment? Is it the food, the service, or the lack of extra charges?
The headline, return on investment, and I want to be precise here, is the service. Full stop. Viking's crew is genuinely extraordinary. They remembered my name after day one. They knew my usual requests before I asked. That level of personalization isn't something you find on most cruise lines at any price point. And it's what creates the feeling that you're truly being looked after. That crew is what makes you feel like a billionaire. Now, the lack of extra charges part, and I'm going to be honest with you here because I think you deserve a straight answer. It's not quite as clean as the marketing suggests. You'll want to budget an additional 8 to 9% on top of your cruise fare. That covers daily gratuities, roughly 3.5%, and the silver drinks package, roughly 5%. Almost everyone adds both. But there's the thing. Once you factor those in upfront, before you even look at the cabin category, then yes, you're truly free. No casino quietly emptying your wallet, no specialty restaurant charge at checkout, no surprising fees for things you assumed were included. The psychological freedom that comes from that is genuine luxury in itself. So ROI, service first, operational freedom second. And the food, which we'll come to, is very good, but it's not the headline act.
Staying on the money theme, because this is the upgrade question I see in every Viking comment section.
Since wine and beer are free at meals, is the Silver Spirits beverage package actually necessary for most people, or is it a big waste of money? Are you able to get drinks outside of the restaurant during lunch and dinner hours, similar to Oceania, or do you have to be seated in a restaurant to have wine and beer?
Short answer, almost everyone who sells Viking adds the Silver Spirits package. And I think that tells you everything you need to know. Here's the precise breakdown. Viking includes complimentary house wine, beer, and soft drinks, but only at lunch and dinner, and only when you are seated in a restaurant. If you're at the Explorer's Lounge mid-afternoon watching the coast of Portugal drifting by, and you'd like a glass of Chardonnay with your view, that's not included. If you're at the pool bar before dinner and you want a mojito, not included. The Silver Spirits package is about $29 per day. The breakdown is simple. One cocktail or a glass of wine outside of meal times, and the package pays for itself. Most people I've spoken with who didn't add it wish they had by day 2. My very practical advice, budget for it immediately. Before you look at cabin categories before excursions, treat it as a fixed cost alongside your gratuities. Do that and suddenly Viking becomes genuinely, pleasantly all-inclusive. The nickel and diming feeling that some people report completely evaporates because you anticipated it. You are budgeting for it. And now you are free.
And before we leave the logistics side of things, this is the one for everyone who's already booked and panicking.
How critical is it to book dining and excursions the second the portal opens? Are people getting shut out of Manfredi's or the chef's table if they don't book months in advance?
Manfredi's, book it the moment the portal opens. I am not being dramatic. This is non-negotiable. Manfredi's is the genuine crown jewel of Vikings dining. It's the one specialty restaurant where the menu is truly distinct from the main dining room and the buffet. It's included, no extra charge, and it's extraordinary. And because it's both free and exceptional, every single guest on that ship wants a table. The windows fill fast. My personal rule, the day the portal opens, Manfredi's is the first thing I book, before excursions, before anything else. And when you book it, critically avoid sea days. On sea days, Viking features its best dining events, the surf and turf, the Viking night barbecue. Those happen at the pool grill, and you'll want to be there for them. I made the mistake of booking the chef's table on surf and turf night and ended up eating 2 full dinners. My waistline has not fully recovered. The chef's table, slightly different story. It's worth booking, but I'd place it as a secondary priority. Here's the honest truth. The chef's table menu, while elegantly presented, it's largely a curated collection of dishes that are also available at the buffet. The value is in the wine pairing and the intimate service, not in food novelty. Knowing that, the pressure drops considerably. For the paid excursions, book the ones that matter to you as early as possible. Popular tours in signature ports do sell out. And always keep port times in mind. Build in buffer, not ambition.
All right, let's talk about what's really in the box. Viking markets included. Is it a big deal?
YouTube viewers often worry that the included excursions are just basic bus tours for seniors. Are they actually high quality, or should people budget extra for the optional paid excursions?
I'm going to give you the honest answer here because this is where I see the biggest expectation gap on Viking. The included excursions are, and let me be precise, a solid foundation, not a premium deep dive. They're typically walking tours or short panoramic drives. They'll give you the highlights, the geography, the first impression of a port. And for many travelers, that's generally enough. Viking also provides complimentary headsets for all official tours, which is a lovely practical touch that makes a real difference in a group sailing. But here's what you need to know. Viking itineraries often very short port times. On my sailing, Vigo, a beautiful city in northern Spain, we had from 12:30 to 5 p.m. That's it. The included excursions fits that window comfortably. But if you want something more immersive or unique, the optional pay tours are not cheap. And here's the frustration worth knowing. There's no credit system. The value of your complimentary excursion isn't deducted from an upgrade. You pay the full price on top. My practical tip. Treat the included excursions as a bonus orientation, not the centerpiece of your day. If a destination really matters to you, and there will be those ports, research independent local operators in advance. Just be very mindful of timing because the ship will not wait. The hidden gem, those complimentary headsets. On large group tours, they're genuinely game-changing. Don't underestimate that detail.
One more included perk I needed the truth on, because free spa access sounds too good.
The Nordic Spa is a huge perk. Is it constantly crowded because it's free, or is it the hidden gem people say that it is?
The Nordic Spa is generally one of Viking's most underrated features, and the fact that it's completely free makes it almost absurdly good value. What's included? Well, the full thermal area, water movement pool, hydrotherapy jacuzzi, steam room, ice room. Yes, ice room, of which I approach with the appropriate level of suspicion and left with the appropriate level of respect. Plus a sauna and cold plunge. On almost any other premium cruise line, a facility like this would carry a significant daily charge. On Viking, it's simply there for you. Is it crowded? Well, here's the honest answer. It can be, but only at predictable moments. Right after returning from a shore excursion, the spa fills up. Mid-sea day afternoons, you'll see more company. Apply the same counter-cycling principle I use for dining. Go in the morning before the excursions or in the early evening before dinner, and you'll often have the thermal area nearly to yourself. One clarification worth making. The massage rooms and individual treatments do carry individual fees. That's expected and reasonable. But the thermal area itself, no charge, no reservation, no queue if you time it right. My favorite ritual on a sea day, 20 minutes in the steam room, followed by the cold plunge before breakfast. I arrive at the dining room genuinely energized and with what I consider a fully justifiable appetite. Hidden gem? Yes, with a small caveat. You have to be a little strategic. Go early, go often.
Now let's talk about the atmosphere, because Viking has a specific vibe they're selling.
Yeah, so with no casinos, no DJs, and an 18 and older policy, does the ship ever feel too quiet or boring, or does it actually feel like a relaxing retreat?
This question separates Viking fans from Viking critics, and it really comes down to knowing yourself as a traveler. Let me paint the honest picture. By 10:30 in the evening, the ship is quiet. The theater show runs at 8 p.m., lasts about an hour, and then most guests retire for the evening. There's no casino creating ambient noise at 2 a.m., no DJ on the pool deck. What there is, the Explorer's Lounge with live music, the piano in the atrium, enrichment lecture on sea days, and the most extraordinary sense of calm I've found on any ship of this size. For you, Doug, Leah, and I suspect for your viewers, this isn't boring. This is the point. You're there to experience the destinations, to have genuinely interesting conversations with fellow travelers, to sleep well and arrive at each port rested, curious, and ready. That's a fundamentally different value proposition from a party cruise. One practical note, because the crowd is wonderfully homogeneous, everyone is traveling at a similar pace. The theater and the corridors can feel like a slow motion parade around 10 p.m. Everyone adds to the same show at the same time. The insider move, watch the show on live TV in your cabin. Same quality, zero lift queue. Boring? Not for a moment. Peaceful? Yes. Sophisticated? Absolutely. Viking Ocean is a retreat that happens to be moving. And once you've experienced that, it's very hard to go back.
All right, staying in the vibe, because this one has its own subreddit.
The website says elegant casual, no formal nights. In reality, do people actually follow this, or will I feel out of place if I don't bring a cocktail dress?
Elegant casual is exactly what it says, and Viking's guest population genuinely honors it, which I find rather refreshing after years of watching dress codes blur on other cruise lines. Here's what you'll actually see in the dining room. The gentlemen tend to be in smart trousers with collared shirts. Linen works well in warmer climates, something a touch smarter for cooler evenings. A sports coat, many men do wear one for dinner, but Doug, you'll absolutely not feel out of place without one. It's a personal choice, not a requirement. And Leah, a nice dress, elegant separates, or a smart blouse with trousers is perfectly calibrated to the room. There are no formal nights, no black tie, no pressure to pack that one heavy gown that takes up half your suitcase and never gets worn. Vikings' demographic, well experienced, well-traveled, aesthetically attuned, tends to dress thoughtfully without being ostentatious. It's the difference between elegance and formality. Viking has the former, emphatically not the latter. Practical tip, one versatile jacket for Doug covers every evening beautifully. Leah, a few elevated outfits and one step-up option for Manfredi's. And you're perfectly set. Leave the formal wear at home, you generally won't need it. And you'll thank yourself when the suitcase goes on the scale.
One more thing that affects your daily experience before we get to the food.
Since every room has a balcony, is there a specific deck or location you found to be the sweet spot for value versus noise and vibration?
The all-balcony guarantee is one of Viking's signature strengths. It immediately removes the single biggest cabin anxiety on every other cruise line. Now for the sweet spot. Here's how I think about it. Midship cabins on decks 4 or 5 are the classic choice for a very good reason. They sit closest to the ship's center of gravity, which means minimum movement in any sea state. Viking's fleet is beautifully stabilized, but physics always wins, and the center of the ship wins most of all. On the Gulf of Biscay, which can be genuinely rough, I was very glad to be midship. For noise, avoid aft cabins if you're a light sleeper. The propulsion systems produce a low-frequency vibration, particularly at the lower speeds and during port maneuvering. It's subtle, but at 2 a.m. it's there. The bow is very quiet, but you'll feel more motion in any heavy weather. My personal preferences, and this is what I tell close friends, midship, decks 4 or 5, port or starboard, either works beautifully. One practical note specific to Viking's layout. Deck 2 cabins have a slight ramp between the lifts and the cabin corridor. If mobility is any consideration for you or anyone traveling with you, choose a higher deck to avoid that. It's a small detail, but I've seen it catch people by surprise. Better to know before you choose.
Okay, food, because on a luxury line, food is either the crown jewel or a quiet disappointment.
Since specialty restaurants like Manfredi's are free, is the food in the main restaurant still top tier, or do you find yourself only wanting to eat at the specialty restaurants?
This is the insider truth that most Viking first-timers discover only once they are on board. And knowing it in advance will generally improve your voyage. Here's the fact, plainly stated. The food in the main dining room and the food in the World Cafe buffet are the same. Same menu, same preparation, different presentation. And dramatically different service experience. The main dining room gives you proper plating, attentive table service, a leisurely meal. The buffet gives you choice and efficiency, but the dishes, same kitchen. Is the main restaurant food top tier? It's very good, consistently good. Breakfast is particularly enjoyable. The fresh omelets are a genuine pleasure every morning. Where you'll notice the limits of the operation is in something like a poached egg for Eggs Benedict, cooked in large batches, maintained warm. A small detail that tells you something about how a ship of 1,000 passengers manages its kitchen throughput. Here's how I use the dining options. Manfredi's for the truly distinctive, memorable meal. Book it early, as we discussed. The main dining room for relaxed evenings with good conversation. The buffet for quick, efficient lunches when you'd rather be back on deck. And a genuine insider secret that I love. At dinner time, almost everyone gravitates to the main dining room, which means the dinner buffet is nearly empty, nearly private. If you want a quiet, elegant meal without waiting for a table or navigating a crowd, the dinner buffet is one of the Vikings' best kept secrets.
Last question, and I love this one because Alex has been on enough ships to give a real answer.
You've cruised them several times now. Who is the one type of traveler who would absolutely hate a Viking Ocean cruise?
I love this question. It's the most honest framing in travel content. And I'll give you 3 types because one wouldn't do it justice. First, the lively night casino crowd. If your ideal cruise involves a lively casino or water slides, DJ sets after midnight, and the ability to still be at the bar at 1 a.m., a Viking will feel like a very pleasant hotel that closes too early. That's not a criticism of Viking, it's just a description of a different product entirely. Second, the traveler who doesn't budget for the extras. If you book Viking on the headline price and then feel blindsided by the gratuities and silver spirits, which together add roughly 8%, you risk spending the voyage slightly resentful. And the resentful traveler misses the magic entirely. Viking deserves a fully committed budget, not a baseline one that runs dry at the bar. And third, perhaps the most surprising, the excursion maximalist. If your primary expectation is that included tours will deliver a deeply curated, immersive premium experience at every port, you will be disappointed by the shorter port stops and the limitations of the complimentary excursions. Manage that expectation and Viking is wonderful. Arrive with that expectation unchecked and the cruise will under-deliver on paper, even while genuinely excellent in reality. Who is Viking for? The traveler who has moved past needing to be entertained, who finds luxury in calm, in personalization, in arriving at each port rested and curious. That traveler, Viking will ruin every other cruise line for them. And I speak from direct, repeated, personal experience.
After going through all of those, we definitely need to adjust our budget for the silver spirits and gratuities. It's very valuable information, Alex, and now we've got some time to budget for that. But we're also pleasantly surprised with the fact that the shows can be streamed to your room. We've been talking about that for years, when sometimes you're just tired, you want to go to the show, but that's wonderful. Yeah.
And the tip on the buffet being quiet at dinner, that's a wonderful thing to share too.
Yeah.
Doug, Leah, this has been a genuine pleasure, and I truly envy you with the Viking Libra voyage ahead. Every question you ask is exactly what I wish someone had answered for me before my first Viking sailing. And now you have your answers. Honestly, direct from someone who has made every mistake worth avoiding. I have 2 resources on my channel. The first is a complete deck-by-deck ship tour filmed on Viking Vela. Every Viking Ocean ship follows the same deck plan, so you'll know every corner of the Libra before you even sleep aboard. It's the best orientation you can give yourself. But the one I'd point you to first, the one that has already helped thousands of cruisers plan for a smarter voyage, is my full Viking Ocean review. The 5 mistakes I made, the insider tips that actually change how you experience the cruise, condensed in about 14 minutes. And if that kind of honest, no fluff cruising advice is what you're looking for, and clear it is, or you wouldn't be watching Doug and Leah, then come join us at Cruising After 50. I'm Alex, your bon vivant gentleman. I'll see you on the water.
Alex's full channel is linked below. He goes deep on luxury cruise life, and if you're over 50 and thinking about a premium line, he's definitely worth a subscribe.
And we'll be back with the actual Viking Ocean experience once we're on board. And I promise, we'll revisit every single one of these answers. We'll tell you if he's right. Details, not drama. See you then.